Hello, everyone.
Uh,
Are you sure we are live? Because we are not. There's
yep,
nothing on mine.
yep. Just refresh the thing. And
Oh, now,
yep. Now you got the message.
yeah, just check the log now. The log, please.
Nah, it's green. It's working fine. So I think we should be good. There's a little bit of a delay,
Delay.
but that's fine. I just tagged you both. I just tagged both me and you. So
This is what I'm looking now to add to my timeline, and
if there's
I
any
think we're ready.
if there's any people who joined us already, please have a little bit of patience. I'm just gonna share this thing. And then we can get started, I think. I'll play the intro until...
Welcome to the Soccer Bowl,
Okay.
the show where we put the grass and bowl back in the beautiful game. With your host, stoner extraordinaire, Alexandru. We don't just talk about what happens in world soccer, we smoke weed while we do it. So fill up that bowl, or roll up a fat one, and let's discuss soccer.
Okay, we're back, Andy. How's it going, my friend? How have you been for the past week since we haven't spoken?
I've been good, thank you. I had some nice days off. I enjoyed a really nice game with Everton last Saturday. I post few pictures online as well for people to see that I'm not talking bullshit and I've really been there.
Yeah, for people who are the first time here or don't know, Andy lives in Liverpool, and this past weekend he went to see Everton, which is his favorite club from Liverpool. They played at home against who did they play against?
Brighton and Hove.
Brighton and Hove, and they won finally.
They won 2-0 and they missed a penalty kick in mine with 88, if I'm not wrong.
My boy Wayne Rooney.
Again, I think it's the third or the fourth one in a row that is missed by Rooney.
In a row, for real?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I remember he was missing penalties at United too sometimes. I think a couple of seasons ago, if I remember correctly, he had a bad spell. He missed a lot of penalties, and Van Gaal had that system of rotation, and everybody was like, why is he not keeping track of it? Because Rooney keeps missing penalties, and he's still the one taking them.
And he's very selfish as well.
Don't talk shit about Rooney, man. Come on.
I mean, I know he wants to score, but I think if you ask me, and not only me, I think most of the people's opinion was that Klaassen should execute the penalty kick, because he just comes on the ground like 2 minutes before, and he's a young player. He needs some something to wind him up, to give him strongness and power, and everyone says they should let him. The score was 2-0, was 5 minutes left from the game, and no one can take the ball from Rooney.
Well, he probably wants to score and prove himself, man. Prove himself. You got to think he doesn't really have a lot of time left to play, and he wants to show people that he came back at Everton to do something, and not just because Manchester United didn't want him anymore.
And he's not doing anything. So far, it's just because Manchester United didn't want him anymore.
Well, it's not like Everton are doing good, so...
No, but they are not. Well, the bad news, there is a very bad news about the last game, and not only for us, for all the football lovers, is that Sigurdsson is injured. He's not going to play the rest of the season, and he might miss the World Cup as well.
Oh, fuck, man. I really like Sigurdsson, and he's like the most important player from Iceland. It's their first World Cup, I think. I think it's a big loss for both teams. What happened? How did he get injured? I didn't see that game, so...
No, it was not. He was playing all the 19 minutes, but I saw he forced himself in the last 35 minutes. The conclusion was, I don't know how to say it, the ligaments.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the way you say. Hey, Ed. Hey, I want to say hello to some people who are live with us. Hey, Eduard, hey Ovidio, what's up? Thank you for joining us live. Okay, and when do you think they'll know for sure how long he's going to be out? Or
So for now, the doctor said 95% he's not going to play any game in the past games of the season, and whatever is left.
Well, you lived in Iceland, man. You know how those people are. Those people are strong as.
Well, I think this is where he made a mistake because he didn't feel well from the first half. Then he forced himself for the second half, and I think he shouldn't force himself because I had very good seats this time, and I saw when Sam Allardyce asked him, "Are you okay? Would you want to continue? Do you want change?" You know, he made a sign, no. But he couldn't run properly. He forced himself. I told him for more than half an hour, probably for the second half, all the second half.
Man, and for what, man? Because it's not like Everton are really in the contest for anything. I mean, they're on 9th, and they have 11 points less than Arsenal, who sits on 6th, which is the last, Europe spot that you can get. And I don't know, man. I think the World Cup is more important than,
Well, we'll see. These Icelandic people, they have some different types to treat people because they are, like you said, they are very strong people. So probably he needs to go and do those Icelandic baths, staying in a hot tub.
And and have elves and fairies. And other stuff that they have in that culture over there.
I know. I was laughing in the beginning, and I saw it serious, so I just stopped laughing.
No, man. I mean, they can make fun of us believing in whatever we believe in the same in Santa
Claus.
Yeah, and the Easter Bunny. So, yeah, it's just funny, man. It's just funny.
No, but they have different ways. I know they are strong people. I remember seeing them. They stay in a hot tub with the water of 40 degrees Celsius. Then they jump from the hot tub in the river, where the river, I don't know, the water is probably like 5 degrees Celsius. And then they just do like that and say, this is the Viking blood. So hopefully, I would really like to see Sigurdsson playing in the World Cup for Iceland.
Oh, me too. I think he's 25% of that team is him. Because they don't have any other player that plays in that position, a player of his caliber especially.
So he's nothing sure for the World Cup, but he's 95% sure that he's not going to play the rest of the season.
Well, we wish him a quick recovery, both for the Icelandic national team, who I'm going to be a fan of at the World Cup, by the way. And we have, 90-some days left till the World Cup? So we're getting there. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited for something. I can't hardly wait for 22nd of March because the Panini sticker album will be released.
Oh, you still collect those?
Of course, yes, I have to.
What have you thought at how old were you when you started collecting those? Were you like 14, 13, maybe
probably,
even?
Yeah, from 4. I would say 14, probably.
Could you imagine if somebody would have told you at 13 that you're going to be doing the same thing at 30? Would have you believed them?
Well, I don't know. I have the same passion like I used to have when I was a child. I mean, I'm still collecting football shirts, tops, and I'm still collecting stickers, and I have these albums. I have the last one from the Euro. I don't know if it's the Euro one or I have the previous World Cup one, but I know I got one from somebody, but I don't remember if I even looked for stickers or not. Well, it's full. The one from Euro from 2 years ago is full. Nothing missing.
Can you buy those stickers in the US?
Anywhere.
Oh, really? Can you buy them online?
Yes, and you know what's nice? It's a very, very big community online.
You can exchange?
You can swap, yeah.
I remember the Pokemon cards days when, man, you would have to walk into different neighborhoods with your cards and find people who have cards and try to pursue them to do an exchange so you can have the one that you don't. And now it's so much easy, man. You just go into a Facebook group and you say, hey, I got this. You wanna swap this for another one?
This is pretty much what happened.
How expensive are those stickers anyways?
I think for the Euro one in 2016 it was like 2 pounds. Yes, I think it was 2 pounds for a
For a bag?
for a bag, yeah, for 5 stickers or something like that, or even cheaper, probably 1 pound or something.
Oh, that's not expensive. I mean, I remember,
No,
I remember when we were back home and we were kids. They were not cheap, man.
no, because we didn't have a salary, so we have to beg our parents. Can you give me more money? No, I give you enough today. I got more.
Yeah, you got stickers. You would be the saddest when you had two of the same kind. But let's
So
get let's
yeah,
get
let's
let's get back to soccer, man. Because I want to stay in I want to stay in Liverpool because we have to talk a little bit about the biggest game we had this past weekend in the Premier League, the derby, the eternal derby between Manchester United and Liverpool, who ended in Manchester United winning 2-1. What do you think about the game? Did you see that game or no? You were on the stadium.
No, I haven't.
It was at the same time, yeah.
No, it was before. I saw the first half.
Yep. That was 12:30, and the other one was at 3.
I saw the first half, and I think it was. I saw till the point of 2-0 for Manchester United. Then I left because I want to be before the game in the stadium and the ground having a pint. What can I say about the game? I saw the highlights. Well, I'm not impressed at all because Liverpool, it's like we said, a roller coaster. It's up and down, up and down.
And this was one of those days when Liverpool didn't play anything. I mean, why I say that is if there's a game where Salah doesn't play good, I think the whole team does not play good. This was one of those games. You barely saw Salah touch the ball, or I saw Mane more than Salah, but Salah and Firmino, both, they were almost non-existent. So,
well, these players, they've been non-existent like the rest of the team from Manchester United have been non-existent last night.
Well, we'll get there too because my heart is broken. My heart is broken, man. I was so happy about this victory in the weekend. You know, it's a game at Old Trafford. Everybody knows that, you know, Liverpool is our biggest opponent ever. You know, we have a big history of playing them against each other, and you know, it's always a big rivalry. And I was so happy, but then you remember last podcast when I told you that I have a little bit of I'm a little bit nervous about Sevilla because I can imagine some things happening, and last night was one of those things that I imagined, you know. Bad tactics by Mourinho, a few minutes of not paying attention, and, you know, Sevilla are up 2-0, and then, you know, try to score 3 goals in 10 minutes plus injury time. That's almost impossible. Even if you are Manchester United, and even if you did the same thing against Crystal Palace a weekend, you know, a little bit before that, it's not, you know, it's not always going to play out right, especially when you play at home the second leg and you have the advantage of the home field. You should try and score. United in the first half did not look like doing that. Second half, even worse. And then Mourinho, how do you play with Fellaini, who hasn't been starting a game in forever, you know? And you play him from the first minute in such a capital game. Why didn't you play McTominay? He's played him for so long, you know, in the past games, and he's been playing good. You know, he didn't make big mistakes. You know, he was there. He did his job right. Why don't you play McTominay? Why do you put Fellaini? And if you really want to put a midfielder in, a central midfielder, if you don't want to put McTominay, put Pogba, man. Don't send him in the, what minute did he, I think he came in at 0-0, right, Pogba?
Yeah.
But, come on, man. Pogba is one of those players that needs motivation, man. And if you're not going to play him, if you keep him on the bench, he's not going to be happy. He's not going to play good.
Okay. Alex, sorry to interrupt. We have lots of people saying hello to you. I don't know them.
I don't see.
Yeah, you have Andrea Zubascu, you have Blade CB, you have Dino Edward.
Well, these are people who who listen to my other podcast. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I can't see who's commenting because I'm paying attention to the stats here from the games. But thank you very much for joining us live. So yeah, man, it's a very poor, after a very good result against Liverpool, it's an extremely poor result against Sevilla, and I think this is gonna have consequence on the whole mentality of the team. and I don't know how to say it.
It's gonna count a lot for the team.
Oh yeah, especially like mentally, man. You failed against an opponent you should have won. Everybody thought you were favorites. This was supposed to be the year that we go further a little bit in the Champions League. Start building towards the future where we might go for the trophy. It did not happen. And then Mourinho comes at the end of the game with a. Did you hear what he said, man?
No.
He said that I've been in this chair twice before. Once with Porto, Manchester lost. Second time with Real Madrid, Manchester lost. So Manchester United is a club who's used to losing in this stage of the competition. How do you say that when you're coaching that exact team that you're talking about and you got such a shitty result,
It
doesn't seem weird.
I think it's a poor comment from a top class manager. So I mean,
I don't know, man.
You can admit they've been better than you. And
they deserve. They deserve, But come on, man. At least don't say anything. All my respects to Mourinho. I don't want him to leave the club or anything like that. But I think, man, this is part of why he doesn't last long at clubs, because he doesn't really know how to handle defeat, and he starts saying some crazy shit like he did last night, and everybody's like, "Wait a minute, man. What game did you see? You remember whose coach you are right now, or what's up with saying that you've beat that Manchester is used to losing? That's not what you want to say when you're the manager of this club, You say that if you're the manager of, I don't know, Leicester City when you get your first year in the Champions League, and you say, come on, man, this is a miracle that we got here anyway, so enjoy it, But you can't say that when you're a Manchester United coach.
When you spend so much money on transfers, when you have so many good players in a team, I mean, it's a shame.
Yeah, that does not apply. That does not apply. So Mourinho, I don't know what you want to do or you're going to do about it, but I mean, you got the rest of the season. Try and get at least the trophy, Some of those, I think we've only have one cup left, the FA Cup, right?
Probably, yes.
We have a game on Saturday.
Yes, it's Sunday.
So yeah, man, that's all I had to say about Manchester. And then the other game we had yesterday in the Champions League was
Roma with Shakhtar.
Shakhtar 1-0 for Roma. Edin Dzeko scored, and Roma are through to the next round. But since we were at the Premier League, let me tell people some other results we had this past weekend.
1 second, Alex. Before we jump in our normal schedule with our podcast, I have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Tell me your thoughts about the quarter. The draw will be on Friday. Which teams would you like to see them playing together?
Oh, so are we assuming that Barcelona goes?
Well, we will use Barcelona/Chelsea because I don't want to upset any fans. But obviously Barcelona will go through because they play at home.
Okay, what ties I would love to see? I would love to see
at least a few games, not all of them. Just what games would you like to see?
Okay, I would love to see Liverpool, Real Madrid, Liverpool winning.
Well, just the draw.
No, I want to say why, because I'm going to try and put the teams I want to win against the teams I don't want, just to make it easier for me. Then I would like Juventus, Manchester City, Juventus to go past. No, man. I think think Juventus are one of the few teams right now that can go past Manchester City,
It's only because the experience they have.
Of course, yep. And the lack of experience from City. Then Chelsea... If Chelsea go past...
I don't think so. But anyway.
Chelsea. If Barcelona go past, I would like to see them play Bayern München winning. And then we have the Roma against...
Sevilla.
Yeah, that's a shitty game. So yeah, let Roma play against Sevilla and Roma win because Sevilla knocked us out. So...
I would like to see Juventus playing against Roma or Sevilla or Liverpool. Either of these three teams, any of them would be fine for me as a Juventus fan. And I would like to see Manchester City against Real Madrid.
That we had that game before. City didn't do really good.
Or at least, no. Okay, I want to see.
That was last season, right? In the semifinals.
Yes. Okay, then let's see Manchester City against Bayern Munich.
We had that game as well. We had in the group stage for a couple of years.
I know, but now the teams, they are different coaches, teams.
I want to see Juventus Manchester City because I really think Juventus are the only team right now who can kick Manchester City out.
Yes, because Manchester City, they play only attack. Juventus know how to kill the game.
But their luck, man, with their luck, City are going to play against Roma, for sure.
Oh my God.
I don't want them to play against Sevilla because if they do and they win like 5 or 7-0 overall, then they're gonna shit on Manchester United supporters even more, saying like, "Look, man, we beat them 7-0. You couldn't get a point, you know." So I don't want them to play against Sevilla. I want them to play against either Juventus or Roma.
Okay, so with this, I think we should go back to our basics.
And now back to our regular schedule. So some other results from the past weekend in the Premier League. We had Newcastle grab a victory at home, 3-0 against Southampton, which meant Maurizio Pellegrino lost his job. He was sacked after this game. You know, Southampton, this is a heavy defeat. I'm pretty sure they expected to get some points, especially considering the fact that they're both fighting to avoid relegations. After this loss, Southampton slip on 17th, only 1 point above the relegation team, the first team in the relegation zone, Crystal Palace. Other results, West Brom with another loss at home, 4-1 against Leicester. West Ham, 3-0 loss against Burnley. This was this on the score sheet or they lost because of the supporters 3-0?
No, that was on the score sheet.
Okay, because for people who don't know, West Ham supporters at 2-0 invaded the pitch and...
No, they invaded the pitch after the final whistle.
It wasn't at 2-0? Because I thought...
It was 3-0 was when they invaded it. When it was 3-0, the referee whistled the final whistle and then...
Well, were they looking for Moyes?
No, they're looking. I don't know who they're looking for. But they found Noble.
They found Mark Noble.
Yeah.
Everton Brighton, the game you attended, 2-0 for Everton. Then we had Huddersfield, a 0-0 draw at home against Swansea, who played in 10 men. Chelsea, a victory at home, 2-1 against Palace. Then Sunday we had Arsenal. Finally a victory for Arsenal, 3-0 against Watford. I saw the game. It was a really good display by Mkhitaryan, Ozil and Aubameyang. All three played really good. And then Bournemouth played against Tottenham at home and lost 4-1. Another great game by Tottenham, who came back after that defeat in the Champions League against Juventus. And then Monday, the already champions Manchester City played away at Stoke and managed to grab a victory, easy victory, 2-0. And the table looks like this. City on first, of course, 81 points. Manchester United stayed in second, 65 points. Tottenham on third, 61. Liverpool on fourth, 60. Chelsea on fifth, 56. And then Arsenal on sixth, 48 points. The last Europa League spot. And then for the relegation zone, we have Crystal Palace, 27 points, same number of points as 19 Stoke, and West Brom, like we've been saying 2 weeks already now, with no chance of surviving. 6-7 losses in a row, I think, by now, 20 points, and probably going to play in the championship next season.
100%.
Okie doke. Where we going next, Andy? Which...
Obviously, we're going to France.
Le Ligue 1.
Le Ligue 1, which is was a very interesting weekend. So we start on Friday with Strasbourg-Monaco, 3-1 for Monaco at Strasbourg. Then Saturday we had PSG-Metz, 5-0 for PSG. Bordeaux-Angers, 0-0, which was for me a surprising draw. Dijon-Amiens, 1-1. Lille-Montpellier, 1-1. Nantes-Troyes, 1-0 for Nantes. So
Ranieri-style victory.
Ranieri is doing excellent. Rennes-Saint-Etienne, 1-1. Moving on Sunday, we had Guingamp-Nice, which was absolutely crazy game. 1-1.
How many goals Balotelli scored?
Was 5-2 in the end. Not too many, to be honest with you. Was 1-1, then was 2-2, then in the end, in the last minutes, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. Balotelli scored none.
He didn't score any?
Any goal. Was 1, 2, 3, 4 goals from Plia.
Mario, che cosa?
4 goals Plia and 1 goal Srarfi. Sorry, it's a weird name. And we had the last game, which was we have Olympique Lyon Caen 1-0 for Olympique Lyon, and the last game was Toulouse Olympique Marseille 2-1 for Olympique Marseille. The table looks like that now. PSG champions, 70 points ahead. Second place, which is Monaco, 63 points. Third place, Olympique Marseille, 59 points. Fourth place, Olympique Lyon, 54 points. On the bottom of the table is sitting Troyes with 28 points, Lille with 28 points, and Metz with 20 points. Hopefully, Lille, they will save themselves, because I don't know if you read about, was almost the same problem like with the West Ham. So
yep.
the fans,
I saw fans invading the pitch.
Invading the pitch. They had all the rights to invade the pitch because, Lille is a team with a history, and it's obviously better than lots of the teams from the Ligue 1. So that was the result. Those was the results from the Ligue 1. Where would you like to take us now, Alex?
Jetzt die Deutsche Bundesliga, where Friday we had Mainz play at home against Schalke. Schalke managed to grab a win, makes their 4th win in a row, and win that takes them on the 2nd spot. This new coach, I forgot his name. Who's the new coach? He's known. Of Schalke.
Of who?
Schalke.
Is he an important one?
Yeah. He's like he used to be a good football player. I forget the name right now.
I'll give you the name in a second.
Okay, I'll continue. Hanover played at home and lost against Augsburg 3-1. Hoffenheim 3-0 against Wolfsburg at home. Hertha Berlin 0-0 against Freiburg. Bayern München kicked the shit out of Hamburger Sportverein 6-0. Bayer Leverkusen 2-0 at home against Borussia Mönchengladbach. VfB Stuttgart 0-0 against Leipzig. Dortmund, another victory, 3-2 against Frankfurt, and Dortmund look pretty good right now with the new coach. 4 victories, 2 draws in their past 6 games. And then the last game we had on Monday, the game that makes us the happiest, is Bremen. Victory at home against FC Köln, 3-1. That means Bremen is on 13th. Still not sure of...
Well, Bremen is in that position that they have chance to relegate, and they have chance to play in Europe as well.
Yep, so they're pretty close, because they're 10 spots away behind Leipzig, who sits on 6th, who is the last European spot. But they're also 5 points above, 5 points above 16th, which is the first relegation spot where Mainz sits. So
just to come back with
fingers crossed. I hope Bremen makes it. Go ahead.
I was going to come back with the information you asked me. The Schalke manager name is Domenico Tedesco.
Tedesco? Huh.
So this name didn't tell me too many things, but if you know him, I know he was a coach for the Hoffenheim under 19 till 2017 March.
I thought it's a bigger name. Maybe I'm wrong. The table. Already champions, 20 points above second spot. Bayern München, second. Schalke, 46 points. Dortmund on third, 1 point less than Schalke, 45. Leverkusen on fourth, 44 points. Frankfurt on fifth, 42. Leipzig on sixth, 40 points. And we have Mainz, Hamburg, and FC Köln, the last 3 teams who are going to relegation at the moment, the way the table looks. And I don't see Hamburg or Köln have any more chances, because they're 7 and 8 points behind 16th, who is a relegation spot as well. So Unfortunately, both these teams are teams with tradition, and I see Wolfsburg are on 15th, so they're pretty close too. But man, that's what happens when you have teams like Leipzig and Hoffenheim and Augsburg sit on top. There's only 18 spots in the Bundesliga, so this has to happen sometimes.
Thank you. Thank you for informing
Bitteschön.
and telling us everything about the Bundesliga. Moving on, we are moving to the Serie A from Italy. We start on Friday with Roma-Torino, a nice game, 3-0 victory for Roma. Comfortable winning for Roma. Saturday we had the derby of Verona, which was between Hellas and Kiev. Hellas managed to win with 1-0. I'm not going to talk about bettings now, but guys, seriously, if you ask me if I'll give my hand that would be less than 2 goals, I would say yes.
It was one of those games where you knew for sure what's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Moving on, Sunday, Fiorentina-Benevento, 1-0, a nice tribute for number 13 Astore, who passed away. Bologna-Atalanta, 1-0, a very good win and excellent 3 points for Atalanta. Cagliari-Lazio, 2-2, a surprising draw for Lazio. And they managed to get a point in the last minute of the game with Immobile.
They used all their goals against Steaua Bucharest, man. That's why.
Is the curse is on them now. Moving on, Crotone, Sampdoria, 4-1 for Crotone. So Zenga, I don't know what he did with his boys, but they got 3 important points in the fight of avoiding relegation.
In a very tough game, man. In a very, very tough game.
Very tough. Sassuolo Spal, 1-1. Juventus Udinese, 2-0. Bianconeri, they are confirming their good form. Genoa Milan, 1-0 for Milan. A very lucky victory as well for Milan. They scored in the last 2 minutes, I think. And not a surprise, but it's like a loss for Napoli. Internazionale Milano, Napoli 0-0. So Juventus is on the first place now. And
Napoli wrong steps against Rome and against Inter.
So Juventus is 4 points ahead Napoli right now. The table looks like that. First place Juventus 74, second place Napoli 70 points, third place Rome with 56 points, fourth place Lazio with 53 points. On the bottom of the table we have Spal with 24 points. Oh man, it's a big fight for avoiding the relegation in Italy. So from the 14 till the 20, even from I would say from the 14 till the 20, they all have chance to relegate.
The fourth? Number 4?
No, 14.
Oh, 14th. I was like, Jesus, man, what's going on? Nobody's winning?
14 Cagliari, 26. 15 Kiev, 25th. 16 Crotone, 24th. 17 Sassuolo, 24th. 18 Spal, 24th. And 19 Hellas Verona, 22.
Yeah,
and the last one, Benevento, with 10 points. No chances to escape.
It's like a game of chess in Italy, both for the title and avoiding the relegation.
I like this type of championships, and when they keep you, I don't know, they keep you it's like a thriller, like a nice thriller.
They keep you interested all the way to the end. Like right now in the Premier League, I don't care I don't care if Manchester City does any wrong steps. They only need 3 more points and they're champions, even mathematically.
Maybe two more victories.
So 6 more points, yeah. So that's done and over there.
Yeah, but it will be hard because this game they will play home, but the other one on the 31st will be away on Goodison Park with Everton.
You in the stands?
Obviously, and probably they will lose this point.
Well, we'll see. Let's move on to Spain real quick, where Friday, we had Girona play at home against Deportivo La Coruña. Another defeat for La Coruña, 2-0 for Girona. Saturday, we had Eibar lose at home against Real Madrid, 2-1, pretty close game. Sevilla lost at home against Valencia 2-0, but then made it up in the Champions League yesterday where they kicked out my beloved Manchester United. So, puta madre, Sevilla.
Well, that's why they sorry to interrupt, they rest most of the players, and that's why they lost with Valencia. Look at the team where they play with Valencia. None of the good players they've been on the pitch.
Getafe Levante 0-1 for Levante, who played in 10 men. That's a surprising result, and I know it was even more surprising for you.
Please don't tell me about that.
Andy put some bets on Getafe, and it was the only game he was waiting on. And when he told me what he bet, I was like, dude, relax, man, it's gonna be for sure.
and it told me the same things next day on Sunday with Porto.
And it didn't happen that time either. Okay, moving on. Malaga lost at home against Barcelona 2-0. Malaga in the second division. 1 foot in the second division. Sunday, Espanyol Barcelona played at home against Real Sociedad and won 2-1. Atletico Madrid easy victory at home against Celta Vigo 3-0. Las Palmas lost at home against Villarreal 2-0. Athletic Bilbao won at home 2-0 against Leganés. And on Monday, Alaves lost at home against Betis. And the table looks like this. Barcelona in first, 8 points more than second spot Atletico Madrid, who has 64 points. Real Madrid on third, 7 points less than Atletico, 57. Valencia on fourth, 56 points. Sevilla on fifth, 45. Villarreal on sixth, 44. And for the relegation, we have Las Palmas with 20 points, Deportivo 19, and Malaga last spot in the table, 13 points. 6 losses in the last 6 games. That's all I can see. It's probably even more than that. So that's all we had in Spain, and I think we're done, right? With all the...
Yeah, we can move on to the next step of our podcast. If you don't have anything else to add.
No, I don't.
Okay, there are lots of there are quite a few games, interesting games this weekend. But I select just 4 of them, like always, guys.
I try to find them, and I probably found 2 in Spain, I think, and that's it.
No, we have a nice game in France because I follow that league. It's Olympique Marseille, Olympique Lyon.
Oh yeah, and this one, I forgot. Yep, this is probably the nicest we have this weekend.
Honestly, yes, it's one of the best games. Will be goals there, and Marseille is playing well. Lyon is not in the best form. I don't know. Probably Marseille will win, but nice game to watch. Keep an eye. Then we have Barcelona with Atletico Bilbao. Even if Barca they have lots of points ahead, I still think this is a nice game because
there were always interesting games between the two because.
It's between Catalonia and Basque from Bilbao, Basque people from there.
Yep, and we always had a lot of goals in these games. So should be interesting.
So that's why I choose this game too. Then we have a nice game in Italy. We have Sampdoria against Inter. We all know how hard it is to get points from Sampdoria's field. So and Inter, not the best team in the second part of the season. Probably will be a boring game, but it's still a nice game to watch on Sunday if you don't have anything better to do. Then I have Monaco and Lille. I know for most of you it's not an interesting game, but I think it's an interesting game. Why? Because like we said before, last game with the supporters, they went on the pitch to to talk with the players because they are in the relegation zone. They need points. They promise the players, primers, supporters, they'll get points in every single game from now on. So,
well, that's easy to promise when they're on the field. And you're scared of getting your ass kicked. I'm curious, man, because honestly, I chose this game to bet on for next week, but we're gonna get there when we get there. But I hope that was only the fright in them talking, and they're not actually gonna get points against Monaco.
Well, we'll see. And off the records, guy, for our fans and watchers from Romania, Sunday I think it's CFR Cluj playing against FCSB Steaua Bucharest. So that's one of the most important games for the title. We'll see. Keep an eye. Any other games would you like to add on?
No, like I said, I couldn't really find. I didn't even. I mean, I knew Cluj against Steaua is going on, but I didn't. I'm not following the Romanian league that closely anymore. But thank you for mentioning it. There's people from Romania who listen to this, so
yeah.
Forza Steaua.
We are trying. We are trying to cover all of the parts of the world where we have listener and watching. That's why last week we talked about MLS. This week
United. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about DC United and the minute of history, do you want to find out some new things about the new team?
Do I? Of course I do.
What? Okay, let's talk about the Lions today.
Okay, which are
Athletic Bilbao.
Okay.
So, Athletic Bilbao, the football was introduced to Bilbao by two distinct groups with British connection: British workers and Basque students returning from school in Britain. In the late 19th century, Bilbao was a leading industrial town and attracted many immigrant workers, including miners from the northeast of England and shipyard workers from Southampton, Portsmouth, and Sunderland. They brought with them the game of football and came together from Bilbao Football Club. Bilbao.
Were they all Sunderland supporters?
Sorry?
Were they all Sunderland supporters?
No,
because of the colors of the.
No, but look, because you mentioned the colors, I will teach you. I will let you know something new about the colors.
Okay.
So Athletic began playing in an improvised white kit. But in 1902 and 1903 season, the club first official strip became half blue, half white. Shirts similar to those worn by Blackburn Rovers.
Oh.
Which were donated by Juan Moser. Later, a young student from Bilbao named Juan Elordui, who spending Christmas in 1909 in London, was charged by the club to buy 25 new shirts, but was unable to find enough. Waiting for the ship back to Bilbao empty-handed, he realized that the colors of the local team Southampton matched the colors of the city of Bilbao, and bought 50 shirts to take with him. This is why Bilbao is playing with the Reds.
So another team inspired by Southampton.
Yes.
Jeez, man, I thought it's Sunderland by the way their logo looks with the white and red stripes, and then you have the black. That's Sunderland.
Oh, was a student who was in charge to buy his shirts. He couldn't find. He was waiting for his ship, and he realized, well, I'm in the city. They have the same colors like the colors of Bilbao, why not red and white?
Can you imagine the struggle back in the days, man? I remember this is how the team where I used to play for, as a kid, being from a poor country where not a lot of money is being invested into sport. I remember that's how we used to get our kits, Somebody would have to buy it somewhere and send it to us. It didn't matter if it matched our colors or not, whatever we had, we wore it. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to wear this because it doesn't match my club color. You would take everything, man.
Absolutely. And you know what? Another interesting thing about the T-shirts is Atletico Bilbao was the last major club who did not have the logo on an official sponsor.
Yeah, like Barcelona used to not have one.
Yeah. I think it was on 2004, 2005 when in 2008 they decided to have a sponsor on the shirt.
When did Barcelona do it? Because I was watching a game recently and I was like, man, when did they accept the logo on their? Because I know they played with the UNICEF. Oh, when you're going to talk about Barcelona, okay.
Yeah, because I was telling about the colors of Barcelona.
Okay.
So Athletic Bilbao are the one of the only teams along Real Madrid and Barcelona to have never been relegated since the start of La Liga.
They keep avoiding it, man. They keep avoiding it.
The club made a name for themselves by only hiring players with a strong link to Basque Country, either by birth or through having chosen to train there. So, Atletico Bilbao, they have 8 league titles, 23 national cups, and they have 2 super cups. The last one was in 2015. some very good players that they played for Athletic Bilbao, and they should be mentioned is Francisco Garate, Agustin Gainza, Rafael Iriondo, Telmo Zara, Jose Angel Iribar, Andoni Goicoexca. I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
Yeah, they have weird names, man, with a lot of
Yeah.
X's and K's in them and
So
Z's.
now back to our days. Andoni Bizarreta, Rafael Alcorta, Julen Guerrero, Jose Boexteberia, Fernando Lorente, Ismail Uzaiz.
And Ander Herrera, man, come on.
And Andre Herrera, of course. Sorry, my fault.
Some consider him a big player.
Yes. So it was more than the minute of history, but was some important thoughts about Athletic Bilbao, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and next time for the minute of history. Now, moving on.
Let's see what we did last week. Let's see what we did last week. Are you ready?
I am ready.
To show people how good or bad you were?
Oh, no, I'm not. Well, we've been okay. I can't complain last week, and I don't know if it's on the screen already or not.
It is right now. It is suggested games to bet by Andy, and I'm just waiting on your green light to show people what you did.
Okay, guys, I'm not gonna talk again about the games. I'm gonna say I give you 12 games. I've been let down by 2 games. I bet those games as well. Alex knows because I was going mad on Saturday because of Getafe, who lost at home. And I was going absolutely crazy about Porto on Sunday night, who lost with Pacos Ferreira, and they missed a penalty kick. And honestly, I was so pissed off. I was watching the game, was like they did that on purpose. So we have a good percentage, was 12 games, and we had 10 games green, which means okay, and 2 games red, bad games.
Okay, that's still not bad, man. 10 out of 12, that's really good. Okay, moving on to mine. I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I had 12 games as well, and I had 11 green, 1 red. The first one was red. Mainz against Schalke. I predicted over 1 goal. It ended 1-0 for Schalke, so that one was a red, but all the other ones were green. So this was a very, very good weekend, I can say that, because I see I have decent odds. I don't only have small odds. So if you didn't bet on this one, I'm sorry for your loss. Make sure you do in the future. Not all of them at once, though. Just pick and choose which ones you like. And
so put them together. We had 24 games, 3 games wrong, so 21 good prediction from me and Alex, guys. So I think it's
amazing. That's amazing. If you get to pick and choose the ones that are, I mean, whichever combination you do with 24 games, sorry, which 21s are green, you can win in a lot of situations. So that's a lot of good games in your favor that you can pick and choose and help you win some money.
Okay.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the one?
Some new prediction, yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys? You think we should show them after we did so good last weekend, or you think we should charge them some money for it?
Oh, obviously not. We don't charge.
Okay then.
It's a pleasure to help people to I don't know. Let's get all the money from the bookmakers, guys.
Okay, now people can see your games.
I have 10 games this weekend. Alex rushed me, so I didn't have time to look on all the leagues. I think he didn't rush me, guys. It's not his fault. So
10 games is enough now.
Yeah, Bournemouth, West Bromwich. Bournemouth not to lose the game. Bournemouth is still in a fight for avoiding the relegation. West Bromwich already in the championship. I think will be at least a draw there. 125. Stoke, Everton. Everton not to lose the game. Why I choose this game? Because I saw Koolman is back, and what's the other guy? Koolman and both wings. I mean the right and the left defenders, they're back. Everton is playing. They have the good team. I know Sigurdsson is out, but probably Clausen will play.
Tosun is
I
scoring.
can see them. Tosun is scoring. I feel that they're not going to lose this game on Stoke. Moving in Championship, Fulham QPR. Q Park Rangers, they beat Aston Villa yesterday, but they can't beat Fulham, which is one of the strongest team, if not the strongest team at home. Fulham to win. Wolverhampton, Burton. Wolverhampton to win. 122. Moving on to Italy, Spal Juventus to win. 1.33. Lazio Bologna. Lazio to win with Bologna. 133. Napoli Genoa. Napoli to win. 1.2. Borussia Dortmund Hannover 96. Borussia Dortmund to win at home. 1.4. Bordeaux Rennes. Bordeaux not to lose the game. 128. And Feirense against Benfica. With the wrong step from Porto, Benfica, they can take advantage and waiting for another mistake of Porto mistake, and they can take the first place. So I think Benfica will win this game. A nice odd of 122. Good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, let us know your games, please.
Yes, I will. So, first game I choose is the one that I said earlier, AC Monaco against Lille. I'm going for the Monaco victory, 125. I looked at the incident with the supporters differently than you did. I think the players are going to be like even more affected by it, and they're not going to perform really well. Especially they play away in Monaco. Monaco managed to get the second spot, and I think they want to keep it. I don't think they want to let Marseille or Lyon get close to them again and take the second spot. Then another game in France, Bordeaux against Rennes, where I'm going for Bordeaux to score for an odd of 125. Bordeaux finished a 0-0 game against Angers, right? Last weekend.
Yes.
They don't score a lot of goals, but I think this would be their second game at home in a row, and I don't think they can avoid. I mean, I don't think they can afford a draw, especially a scoreless one. I think they're going to go for the victory, so I'm guessing they're going to score at least a goal. Bordeaux to score for 125, then Stoke Everton. Everton to score for an odd of 140. I thought this is a really good odd. 140 for Everton to score. Then Bournemouth against, I think I misspelled Bournemouth over here. Play against West Bromwich Albion. Bournemouth not to lose for 120. Like you said, West Bromwich already gave up the fight. They're already thinking about the championship. There's no way that they're gonna win this game. So I'm expecting at least a draw, just like you said. Then another game we have. The next 3-4 games are the same for me as well. I have Spal Juventus 2. Juventus to win for 133. Lazio Bologna. Lazio to win 133. Napoli Genoa. Napoli to win 120. Dortmund play at home against Hannover 96. Dortmund to win for 140. And then for my last two games, I have Valencia play against Alaves. Valencia to score for an odd of 110. And then the last game is the game from the Netherlands, where we have Sparta Rotterdam play at home against Ajax Amsterdam. And I'm going for over 2.5 goals for an odd of 150. So these are my 10 games.
Very good games.
Thank you very much. So are yours. Hopefully we can keep the same percentage, if not even more, than the past week. But you know, this is not something that we can predict. So until the games happen, we just have to wait and hope. What do you think, Andy? We're at 55 minutes. I think we've done a great job. Is there anybody? Let me see if we have to say hello to people who've been online, just so they don't think we've.
I don't know all of them, but I want to thank you, all of you 60 people who take your time and watch us today. I know it's not the best time to watch because some people they are working, some people they just come from work. So thank you from my side, and you have the microphone now.
Thank you very much, guys. I see you now. I see all of you who joined. I see all of you who commented. Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate you being here, and hopefully you enjoyed something. If not, join us next week, and you'll enjoy it more. Trust me, it takes a little bit of time to get used to us, but after you do, you love us so much you won't be able to turn away. You'll always have to listen to the Soccer Boys live on Facebook every week in the middle of the week, Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes we might even do it Thursday because we're crazy and we can do that. But until next week, again, thank you very much. Please share, like, subscribe on YouTube. Also find us on Spotify. Now that Spotify is in Romania, you guys can find us on Spotify. It's still under the Soccer Bowl, but that's going to be changed soon, I think. If I didn't change it by now, I don't remember. But
it's still the Soccer Bowl.
You'll find us over there. It's the Soccer Boys on YouTube, though. I know that.
Oh, great.
For sure. So that's all I had to say. I wish you guys a wonderful week. Hopefully you get all the money from the bookmakers. Let us know if you choose any of our tips. And good luck. Enjoy the games we have this weekend. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Andy, any final words for our great audience?
Yes. Pleasure like always. Alex, thank you so much for everything, and all the best from here from Liverpool.
Thank you, Andy, and yeah,
we'll keep in touch, and we have to talk Friday after the draw.
We do. Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice week. Bye.
Bye.